Well, good evening, everybody. Dan Coccimiglio Ryan Smith will be here shortly. He has been running around and he'll be here probably within 5 minutes. But we got a lot to cover tonight. We got Warriors basketball, we got Giants spring training, we got NFL free agency, and we have the March Madness. So we'll probably break it down into segments. And so since Ryan's not here right now, and he was here Wednesday through Sunday, and we were covering the Giants, and I was out at the ballpark today, so I'll talk a little bit about Giants baseball right now, and just get this thing going. Oh, see who we got in the house. Len Dempsey's watching. Oh, come on, Len. Let's see. Let's get out of here. How do we do that? Block. There we go. Not sure how that's doing it. The guy's following out here. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Don't know what in the world this loser has no life, but to come on and put all these ridiculous comments up. Boy, that's really good of you, guy. Hope you find a life someday. Anyway, what do we got? Let's get back to the Giants baseball. Today they beat the San Diego Padres in spring training 11-9. But the story of spring training continues to be Blake Sable, the Rule 5 draft pick from the Pittsburgh Pirates. I believe he's gotten on base like 9 out of his last 10 at bats. Today, what may have been his most impressive at bat was a sacrifice fly that he hit off Tim Hill, the funky left-hander for the Padres, who's got kind of a funky, jerky delivery. And looking at Tim Hill, when he faces left-handed pitchers, I think his lifetime lefties hit about 212 off of him. When Ryan gets here, I'll send the clip to him, and he can show you. I got video of it, and it actually, Sable hit the ball on the nose, and he got it to medium deep center field, deep enough for whoever, I can't remember who was ever on third base, was able to just basically walk it home pretty easy. So, boy, we still got the we got the loser in here in the chat. Sorry, I don't know what this guy's problem is. Anyway, Romo says worried about injuries. Yeah, there are some injuries are starting to pile up for the Giants right now. Brandon Crawford has some left knee soreness, same knee that bothered him last year. I believe it's left knee, and they're going to put him on the shelf for about a week. So with that, the goal, according to Gabe, he thinks it's something that should be relatively minor, but nothing that is. He described it as it's not a setback. So it's not any kind of setback. It's just, a lot of times guys get issues and, with spring training knees. Hopefully this is not a reoccurring aggravating problem that will be with him all year. So with that going on, that's one issue. Mitch Haniger has an oblique issue, and he's day-to-day. Slater's been out most of the year with an elbow, and he hasn't been able to play in the field. Ronald Guzman yesterday, in a really unfortunate situation, he threw a pitch that was 8 feet over the catcher's head, and this it looks like it's his forearm tightness, he said, which could be the elbow, which could be the dreaded Tommy John. So that's, unfortunate. And then I'm trying to think of any other injuries that may be going on. David VR has a hip flexor, so that's a day-to-day thing. Lots of little nagging injuries, but this is something that happens every spring to every team. You just hope that they go in, relatively healthy. Blake Sable today got his first start out in left field. Had one tough fly ball that was hit all the way to the wall. He went back on it, and he was looking right up into the sun. It was pretty high hit, and he just lost it in the sun, and he kind of lunged for it at the end. Didn't get that, but he caught two other fly balls that were fairly routine, but he looked really good in camping under those balls. They didn't look like anything where he's doing any kind of stutter or pop-up dance, that you see a lot of times from guys that aren't used to playing the outfield. So he's definitely used to playing in the outfield. And Luis Gonzalez is getting a second opinion on his back as it's still bothering him, and that is a concern. Anytime you get a back issue, I remember years ago with the Giants, Robbie Thompson, the up-and-coming second baseman, him and Will Clark came up together in '86, and Robbie Thompson's career was somewhat cut short by these back injuries. So hopefully, I tell you, this running the chat here by myself with this idiot that's continue. I keep having to block, and I'm I guess if this guy has no life and he wants to distract me, sorry, guys. It's frustrating that we've got some of the biggest losers in society that have want to join this show, and just whatever. Okay. So Giants won today, like I said, 11-9. Blake Sable went 1 for 2 with a sacrifice fly, and he did strike out one time on a check swing. In fact, I caught that on video, and I was kind of showing it to him in the locker room because he wasn't sure. And we looked at it in slow motion, and he definitely did break the swing. But and here comes Rye. All right, so Rye should be popping in. Well, it looks like he back out. Maybe there's an internet issue. I'm not sure what's going on. I guess you guys are about ready to get hit. Are you getting hit tonight I'm down here, obviously in Arizona. Are you getting hit with that storm in the, I heard it was coming in tonight, dumping tons of rain on you guys. All right. Hey, Rye.
Oh no, that's the one follower we didn't want.
Yeah, we got him. All I've been doing is blocking him. He just constantly.
Oh, he's relentless.
Hard to do it all by yourself. I don't know what the heck this guy's issue is, but
I got him.
Yeah, just man, unbelievable.
But speaking of unbelievable, how about that Dubs game? They flipped the switch, baby. That looked like a switch flip right there.
Yeah. I was just covering the Giants just a little bit because since you weren't here, I thought we'd cover the Warriors together, and then I think we're gonna go an hour roughly. I've been kind of wiped out, getting up early, driving to Scottsdale, and I need some rest tonight.
I am sweating also,
and so I think we should just break this down into some segments. Cover the Warriors here. I'm looking here at the chat here, and it seems like we've got a lot of baseball people.
Well, okay. How about this? I've got a suggestion for you. I actually invited the great Frank Red on, and he accepted.
Okay, I did too, and I didn't hear from him, so I'm glad you did.
Well, so I'm not sure, you probably have better luck with Blake Sable, but yeah, so Frank's coming on. So why don't we table the Warriors and talk a little bit of Giants until Frank gets here?
Yeah, and then we can also, if we get to March Madness and the Warriors, I talked to my brother, so I didn't know. Do we need to send him a link? You're the tech guy, so
well, it depends. Does he want to? I mean, if he can join. I don't know. I don't think he's ever actually joined a StreamYard.
No, he's always called in. Is there a way to call in or?
Yeah, so he could join the StreamYard and just not put on his camera if he just wants to like talk into it like a cell phone, or he can. I can actually just give him a call and use the old Bluetooth on my mixer.
All right. Well, let's just go ahead with the Warriors. The Giants. I was talking about the game today. Pretty interesting. Conforto hit just a moonshot. Unbelievable. That was his fourth homer of the spring. Talked to him after the game in the clubhouse, the visitors' clubhouse, and this was the first slider. The first three were fastballs, so he got this one on a slider. He was guessing slider because he had pulled one pretty sharply, down the line that was foul, that was hit deep on a fastball. So he said he didn't think he would be throwing another fastball, guessed slider, and man, he didn't miss. 400-foot moonshot. I mean, the launch angle on his home runs look like they're like 50 degrees or more. I mean, they're just way up there. You see some that are like, 25, 20 degrees and just on a line. They get out quick. Yeah. When he hits them, they're high.
A monster slam, some may say.
Yeah, definitely. Let me see if I can send you. I was going to send you so you could put it in the just to show people what I was talking about with Sable's sac fly, because he hit it off of a lefty. Yeah, there is that it. Yeah, there it is. Okay, I'm going to send this to you in a. I'll just send it to you in a text. It's short. That way you can play it. I was describing it because when you got a lefty up and you got a guy on, left-handed batter against a lefty, less than 2 out, man on third, you got to make contact. And a lot of times left-handed batters get pretty fooled by some lefties and will either strike out or hit a weak ground ball. But Sable hit it on a line and put it, medium deep center field, easily scoring the runner from third. I'll tell you that really impressed me almost as much as, just his first inning single. He also, what I'll say is he works the count. He gets into deep counts with the pitcher, which is, right up what the Giants preach, is working counts. Brandon Belt was, one of the best at that. Brandon Belt almost always seemed like you could count on it being 3-2 with Brandon Belt. So that was, Mania looked good today, pitching. Mania was very, very sharp. Sean Mania today, looking at his stats.
He seems super confident, by the way. And isn't his miles per hour up like?
Yeah, his miles per hour up. Like, they didn't have a radar gun on the scoreboard today, so it was kind of frustrating because I was trying to see what he was throwing.
Yelp review.
Yeah, but Mania went 3 1/3 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, 1 base on ball. Let's see who else looked good. Harrison pitched 1 inning, gave up 2 hits and 1 run, 1 base on balls, and 1 strikeout. Blake Rivera pitched 1 inning, 1 K, no runs. I believe Austin Wynns hit a home run today. You know who's looking? Oh, and Casey Schmidt. Casey Schmidt hit a ball to right center that got out of the park so quick. I actually got that one on video too. I actually tweeted that one out
on Twitter.
That was like, man, bang. It was like a shot, like just, a straight line drive over the right center field fence. Next time up, he hits it a little lower and he gets a stand-up triple. And as I was watching him run around the bases,
I just realized, I think, who this guy is that's commenting all this, because it always has something to do with me and you, and it always has something to do often with Cy, especially after the Warriors post games. Usually a lot of Cy. I think it's Rick Barry.
Rick Barry.
He's mad. He's mad that we're sharing Cy.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I called out Lynn earlier when I first saw it. I said, "Hey, Lynn."
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know who it is. We really don't. But
yeah,
whoever it is.
It's one of the great modern conspiracies.
Whoever it is definitely has zero life, really zero life.
Or they're just a great multitasker.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, Casey Schmidt definitely making a case for making up to the majors sometime this year. I don't think he comes out of camp as opening day roster on the opening day roster. The only way that I could see that happening is if they had multiple injuries, because, if you don't really have a true third baseman or something,
like a VR stage.
Well, VR's out right now with a what did I say it was earlier? A hip flexor or something like that. So he's out. I mean, you got Flores and JD Davis, and then you got Estrada and all those guys. So, I mean, who really knows what's going to happen? But
I don't know. I don't know if people, or I'm not sure if Larry had mods or not. Maybe I guess enough people had access that he didn't need it. But
what's that?
Moderators. Oh, that's a manager. Oh, that might be.
What's that for?
I'm trying to get. Okay, so essentially a moderator is. Oh, there's a lot of different kinds. Standard, managing. I'll make y'all managing. I mean, everybody here is like a longtime Krug Show person. I hope they don't like draw penises on our thumbnails or something, but I think it'll be okay. Okay. All right. I'm going to send out some emails for some moderators. Basically, Dan, they can be our warrior army in the chat, just defending us against the unknown man.
Oh, send it to Romo and Graves.
Yeah. Oh, Graves is already getting one. Okay. Oh, no, I'm supposed to paste I got it wrong. You don't have to send me your email. Dan is munching. Dang it. All right. So anyway, the moderator, I guess I got it wrong. I was looking at manager. For moderator, I just have to paste the URL of your YouTubes. So I shall do that. Get ready. About to have so many moderators.
Yeah, nobody wants to see this clown. I mean,
total clown show.
Yeah, the ultimate clown loser. He belongs on Clown World on Twitter.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's Dan. One of Dan's favorite channels. All right. Okay, NorCal Sports Network. Okay, trying not to get derailed. Okay, NorCal Sports Network. I think I gotta click on I'm on YouTube to add another follower. Because now I'm watching it. Okay. All right, I'm adding some right now. I'm a total clan show.
Romo.
Romo has some theories too, I think. So what did you talk about before I got on here? Just a little bit of Warriors?
Just a little bit of Giants. Just a little Giants. Haven't even touched the Warriors yet.
Oh.
Yeah, didn't touch the Warriors. We could hit a little NFL free agency real quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, the big news of the day, probably nationally, and somewhat tied to the 49ers, Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be signing with the Las Vegas Raiders. So Jimmy gets exactly what I predicted in the beginning of the year, right? You remember? I said he's going to get a 3-year deal, roughly in the $60 to $70 million range, with about 40 guaranteed. And he's right in that ballpark. So it was pretty obvious that, he was playing when he came in. He was going to have a good year. It's a contract year. He's playing for basically his career. So Jimmy's done well in the NFL career.
Oh, you really got to root for him, because I mean, the guy did do a lot for the Niners in terms of just kind of like, even if you didn't think he was all that, at least he has the confidence of thinking he's all that. And he got everyone to believe that like he was a guy that could take them to the Super Bowl with all his swag. And I just remember the real culture change, like in the locker room, the second he got there. The wide receivers glowing about him and all that. So, the guy did well for the Niners, and and also they wouldn't have made it to the Super Bowl this year if not for him sticking around. So, I mean,
and he also, I heard a stat today for the last 3 years or something like this. Over the last 3 years, he's led the league in yards per attempt or something like that, or something crazy like that.
His yards per attempt numbers are great. I mean, just what people point to though is like, okay, well, a lot of those are screen passes that turn into, but his air yards are actually like a little bit better than give him credit for sure.
Also with the Niners today, they signed the defensive tackle from the NFC champions. Yeah.
Absolute dog.
Yeah, he's a beast. 11.5 sacks, stops the run. So a lot of changes. McGlinchey went to the Broncos. Jimmy Ward's going to the Houston Texans to be with DeMeco Ryans.
Wow. You knew he was going to pick some people off.
Yeah.
It was bad.
There's a report that the 49ers may be interested in Jaguars cornerback Trey Herndon, which would be a nice addition. What else is? Sam Darnold signs. What do you? I make of that as just he's Josh Johnson's replacement.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. He's just Josh Johnson's replacement.
I take that as he's the third quarterback. I know Larry believes that that Trey Lance is now going to get traded and that Ed Darnold's the second QB. I don't think with the way the Niners system. He said that. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
embrace debate. That's wild.
I don't go with that take because it would, Lance he's going to be the starting quarterback, I think, day one, until Purdy's available, and maybe Darnold beats him out, but they want to have a competition.
What about the cap hit? Isn't there just a $20 million dead cap if they trade Trey?
Oh, yeah, exactly. So I'm not sure exactly.
Trey already said he wants to compete. I actually wouldn't be surprised if this is all right. I really haven't listened to anybody at all pontificate on Darnold, so maybe somebody has this take already out there. This is what I'm calling. They know that Purdy's probably not going to be back until the regular season.
Week 4, week 5
week 5. And remember when Trey was talking about, what they don't want to do is hand Trey the job. They kind of did it last year. They kind of handed him the job in the offseason, or in that interview with Rich Eisen. He was very adamant about he wants to compete. He does not want this job handed to him. He wants to compete and show he's better, blah, blah, blah. They just brought in Darnold to compete with him. I wouldn't be surprised if they cut him. But I bet they brought him in to compete with Trey. And you know what? If he somehow beats Trey out, well, then there's your answer on Trey Lance. But maybe you do try with Darnold, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think he is 100% just there to compete for the job. And I honestly, it would surprise me if they kept him into the year. It just seems like that they would be much better off signing a vet to be behind Lance. So,
So
exactly. Graves, you can't trade Trey. What if they traded Trey and then Purdy is just like more injured than they thought come week 4?
Right. You don't know. You just don't know.
Then what? You have Sam Darnold? And what are you going to trade for?
Right.
Like, I think Larry wants like them to trade Trey for draft picks, not players. So if you're trading Trey after, that late in the year, then, you're not going to get anything that's even going to help you win a championship.
Exactly.
So like, that would be some like loser S, some serious James Wiseman S.
Right. Exactly. Go ahead and send Steve the link. Do you need his phone number or email?
Or you said, do you want him to just call in, or do you want him to jump on with no video?
Let me see.
Because you could let him know, like, if he jumps on, like, just don't do the video and then just talk like normal, because it is kind of for people that are like, let's say someone joins like after Steve's been on, they won't know who it is.
Right.
Unless I guess I could put a banner on the bottom. But just
you know what? I got to give Faith her my dog. I got to give her pill or Apoquil. She's itching right now, and I can hear her bang, 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 and it's every 24 hours it rubs off, and I give it to her. I usually give it to her about 9 at night, so she's gonna itch like crazy. So let me go give her that, and I'll be right back.
All right, no worries. Okay, everyone out there that wants to be a moderator, I blew it. You don't need your email, although I appreciate your emails, and probably they'll be used for something else later on. But okay, what I need, I guess, is the URL of your channel. So if you could just throw in the chat the URL of your channel, that'd be awesome. Because like I'm pretty sure, like for example, Eric L. Like I don't think he's youtube.com/Eric L. I'm guessing. So yeah, if you could send the URLs of your channel, if you're or if you're not comfortable, send them in here. Then do the same thing I said about the email. Just hit me on a DM with your channel link. I don't know why it's like not letting me. I would think that I'd be able to just click on your stuff and it would take me to your channel, but I guess not. But yeah, that's wild. I think Larry probably just got a little excited. I mean, Darnold's tantalizing. And I think for everybody out there, it's really hard to give up on somebody that you said publicly, like you thought was going to be a good player. And everyone kind of like talked themselves into Darnold. I mean, I think everyone saw that Penn State bowl game where he just went bananas. And then, I don't know. I'll say this. He does run kind of well, but it says a lot that Carolina moved off him. And I mean, they're just rolling with the number 1 pick. Unless also, I guess, though, PJ Walker or whatever the heck. It's pretty dope. I'm able to go on your channel. Okay. All right. I could do this.
You can do it on the phone.
All right. Yeah.
And even if there's a little delay, I'll wait for you to ask me a question.
Oh, we're hearing Steve right now.
You don't have to. You don't see yourself.
Oh, Dan. Okay, I'll mute Dan just in case he says something horrible. By the way, I was a little late to the show today. I was coming back from my mom's. And what? By the way, I was a little late to the show today. Oops. I was a little late to the show. So, and then there was. I'm trying to figure out if I should disclose this. It's hilarious. I'll run it by Dan and maybe I'll talk about it next show because it was just a very funny situation with just some good immature humor. I muted you, Dan, because we could hear Steve.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I had it on the okay. I had it. had it on the I forgot I had it on my speaker. Yeah. You have Steve's number?
Yeah.
Yeah, just send him the link on this phone,
You mean call him?
or just you can send him the link.
He said that's cool.
He's not very technical like
I
me.
know.
So
I heard him say just give me a call. But you're saying he's gonna give this a shot.
yeah,
I mean, he's
he'll
got to at some point, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's his brother's got a channel now. All right. All right. I'm texting him right now. Damn. Still have not gotten into the Warriors game.
yeah, he did
crazy-
watch that too, so we can talk about that.
What a freaking crazy kind of sports day.
Yeah, there's a lot
What the
going
heck?
on. A lot going on.
And-
NFL free agency, and then
And what was your okay? I know we kind of so Hargrave. A lot of people had him ranked as the best free agent available. To me, this sounds like they're kind of giving up on Kinlaw.
oh yeah, no doubt.
But Hargrave, if we're gonna, if you wanted to be just like a super negative Nancy about such an awesome move, you would say the guy's an unbelievable pass rusher. Not necessarily, amazing against the run. He's no DJ Jones, but I mean, honestly, Armstead is so good against the run now that
Right.
I think you can kind of get away with it. And that is just so frightening. Maybe the Niners will break the record for most sacks next year.
Yeah, I mean, what was it, 72 the Eagles got this year?
Yeah.
It's going to make Bosa even better, especially if Drake Jackson or if they. Do you think Calais Campbell's washed up? Can he be a third down pass rusher specialist?
I mean, I just think that
They got released
you've got
today.
so many guys, like they've got so many guys that have already been in the system that are about to pop. Like, I mean, you got Drake Jackson. Drake Jackson played like some tackle, like they do that whatever NASCAR package or whatever. I mean, I'm trying to think of some of the. I mean, their D line was awesome. I actually kind of thought like maybe the one thing that would be nice is maybe some run stuffers, but who knows?
What
maybe,
do you think you could get for Kinlaw? Can you get a 6th or 7th round pick for him? You think?
Yeah, you could get something.
I mean, would they get? Would they trade when they got a Menahue? He was a former number 1 pick. What was he, a 6th? I think they gave away a 6th for him. I think you just want to get anything so you don't have to. Basically, if you trade him, does that mean that all of his cap, whatever his cap hit would go to the new team? Does it come out?
Yes, I think yeah. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm no cap expert, but I think so. All right, now I'm seeing that even though I've talked to your brother multiple times on the phone, I'm not seeing his phone number. Do you mind texting it to me?
Sure, I'll send it to you right now. Okay.
Have you? Are you a Creed guy at all, or you don't see many movies, right?
Apollo Creed?
Well, I mean, they rebooted the Rocky franchise with Michael B. Jordan as Creed, as Apollo Creed's kid.
Oh, I did see a little trailer on that.
Yeah, the third one. It looks pretty sick.
Yeah.
And it's being directed by Michael B. Jordan. He's going doing the full Sylvester Stallone route. Now he's directing. All right.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's pretty good. I mean, if you haven't seen the first one's really freaking good.
Yeah. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Is it Safi or Safi? Hazib says if they were wise, they would draft 2 or 3 more D linemen. Yeah, I think they're going to shore up the D line and the O line. I think they're going to realize. I wouldn't be surprised. Do you think they're going to give the job to McKivitz at the right tackle, or do you think they're going to go out and sign somebody with 5 to 7 years of experience in the league?
They're going to grab somebody else. But the good news is that I do really like. I mean, McKivitz is awesome. He's like just pretty good. So
yeah, I like McKivitz. Yeah, he's the one you asked the question about the grizzly bear, right? Yeah.
I asked him. I was like, we were like we had no idea what we were doing with those interviews at the beginning. We thought they were going to be part of the podcast, and there was all this pressure to like make them funny. So I asked him if it was like a very long question. It was like, if you have 1/2 yard to go and it's a Super Bowl, and you run a stretch to your side and you've got Trent Williams to your left, okay, and you had to pick up the 1/2 yard in order to get a touchdown to win.
1 second left in the Super Bowl. Yeah, you're down by 4.
But on the other side was an actual grizzly bear. And then I think I said,
you said the Bears because it was Chicago Bears week.
Yes. And I was like, don't worry, it's declawed. But there is a piece of salmon hanging off the football. That was ballsy. That was my first day in the locker room. I walked right up to McKivitz. Oh God. Yeah, I mean, I think they probably will take some more D linemen. Also, I think we're all kind of hopeful that maybe Kalia Davis can do something this year. That would be pretty nice.
What's your thought on Jimmy Ward leaving to Houston?
I mean, he was kind of buttered at the team, and I saw like Grant Cohn was kind of like furthering that narrative of butthurtness, because I think he's got kind of a Blake Sable like relationship with Jimmy Ward because he came on his show early. But I think Jimmy Ward was a little pissed that he wasn't a safety, because safeties get paid way more than slot corners. I just think probably it just came down to money, honestly. But the good news is, I mean, their defense was pretty awesome. And if Mosley, or like their secondary, and if Mosley can come back and be healthy, Gibson's coming back, right?
Yeah.
Gibson, Hisanga, and then they must feel kind of good about some of those young safeties.
Yeah, and I think they'll draft. You watch; they'll draft a couple safeties. They're going to need another free safety. Gibson's getting up there, and you really don't have.
Yeah, like he was a very, very nice surprise.
Yeah,
that's funny. Eddie K said Creed. I thought you meant Creed the band. Oh God, with arms wide open.
Oh man. Do we know if Aziz has signed with another team? I haven't heard that.
That would not surprise. Honestly, part of me is like, go get your money, dude, because he does not get enough shine with the Niners, and if he can get big money elsewhere. Also, I want to see McCrary ball next year. I want to see.
Say meaning in the green room, their device is not connected.
It could mean. Wait.
Yeah.
You click your stop cam and see what happens. Oh, okay. They'll need to connect. Steve just needs to connect his mic. It says that it blocked the mic.
So he just needs to turn his mic on. I'll just
blocked the mic. Oh, it's possible. Do you? He has like headphones on or something?
No, I doubt it. So, yeah. So when did Red say he was coming?
He just said that. He just said to send him an email, which hopefully
somebody says Aziz posted on Instagram, said his goodbyes. Yikes! Is he going to join D'Amico too? Somebody said, that was not going to didn't surprise me at all. So McCreary Ball though will probably step up, take his spot. Maybe, you think?
Yeah. I mean, everyone just raves about Marcelino, and he just seems like that kind of guy. He seems like an absolute dog, and he's just been listening to what those guys have had to say. And I don't know, man. I think Aziz he's probably gone. And then it's probably going to be McCrary Ball. But I mean, it seems like all Greenlaw's banged up a lot, and luckily Fred Warner's a freaking beast and he plays every single game. But and then Aziz is kind of hurt, he's hurt pretty often, and they usually do fine. So I mean, I'm sure they'll have a plan. I mean, they just breed linebackers. Linebackers, one position group this regime has drafted really well. Totally agree. So do the Niners they don't have a first round pick, they don't have a second, but they have a bunch of thirds, right?
Oh, they got a bunch of thirds. No seconds, few thirds, fourth. They've got several. They got 11, 12 picks, something like that.
Yeah, 11, 12 picks. Try rejoining. Yeah, it's being weird for some reason for him. I told him to try rejoining. If it doesn't work out, that's fine. We'll just give him a call. But sure. It'd be nice because what I was kind of thinking is maybe we put up the bracket and just kind of go region by region and just kind of give some gut thoughts. I mean, I'd love to hear Steve's thoughts on it.
Yeah, we should. Too bad we don't have time to do a bracket.
Well, we do. I mean, it doesn't. We should definitely do a. I mean, let me know if you guys want to do a bracket out there. We'd love to set one up, and we'll do it the right way. We'll collect the money beforehand and actually get it done. I mean, what if that evil man in the comments just joined? He just joined the bracket challenge.
Yeah. 11 picks, 3 third rounders. What I like about that is they got 3 picks within 4 slots. So, I mean, they could really hone in on a couple of guys that they like, or they could trade 2 of those picks if they wanted to move up into the second round. If there's a player they really like that they want to grab, that they know will be a guy that is going to be a key part of the team, maybe it's one of the tight ends or, the kid I was talking to Alex Wood today in the clubhouse, and he's a big, Georgia Bulldog. He went there, big Georgia Bulldog college football fan. And what's the guy's name that is I forgot. He's like a 6'7" tight end speedster. You familiar with?
Oh, Michael Mayer. Yeah, he's
that's Notre Dame.
Oh, the Georgia.
Washington or something, maybe.
Oh, I'm not sure. All right, I'm calling Coach. Let me know if you can hear that.
I could hear that. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay, how you guys doing?
Hey, Steve.
All right. You guys can hear me okay?
Oh, yeah. Beautifully.
Darnell Washington. Thank you, Hendricks. Yeah, that's who it was. Yeah, he's tied in. Georgia looks good. He's going to be tough to defend. So yeah, we're going to talk, Steve. We were going to go over a little bit of college basketball, the March Madness, the tourney. You can't see the brackets if Ryan puts them up. Are you watching on the channel as you talk, or just does that not show up while
I actually have the brackets in front of me, so I'm good.
Okay, all right. Can you pull up? We want to start you want to go east to west or west to east, Ryan?
Up to Steve.
East looks good right now.
All right, let's do it.
Ryan's getting ready to pull it up here on the big screen.
All right. Window.
Give me some water while you're doing that.
All right. Get out of here, CBS, with your ads. Okay. Where's the East? Why did it not say it?
The one Purdue is the number one in the East.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, gotcha. All right. Okay, great. Yeah. Okay, I'm excited to hear what you know what, because maybe what I'll do, because this would be a good exercise, I think, is mainly let's lean on Steve, but I guess we can also maybe veto or something, and maybe we just fill out a bracket.
Sure.
And see what happens, because everyone loves filling out brackets. All right.
As long as no one records it and sees how wrong we are, like everybody else.
Oh, can everyone
Hey,
see?
Joe Lenardi even missed one. He got 67 out of the 68 right.
Did he really?
Yeah, to who he projected.
Oh,
to be in
who do you have in Rutgers?
I'm not sure which one.
Nevada out.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people complaining about that. I actually heard some people calling for West Coast bias on what's going on here.
Maybe they actually kind of felt like they've been dishing the West Coast for years, and they gave some more. How about Clemson getting out? And didn't they beat NC State twice by 20 points, and the third time by 10? Was it Clemson?
I don't know. I'm not necessarily the biggest college basketball expert, although you do usually do pretty well in the brackets, so that just goes to show how stupid they are. All right, let's start with the first game. Obviously, we got the play-in game. Steve, are you kind of down to just advance Purdue?
Yeah, who are the two teams? They're both like 16 seeds,
It's Texas
right?
Southern and FDU. I don't even know who that is.
Well, Farley Dickinson.
Is that
what? Well, Texas Southern, a lot of these teams are really small, from that league with Prairie View and Grambling, and they don't have a lot of size. They have a lot of quickness. I mean, it was a team, one of the teams in December that beat Cal. And when you look at that matchup with the big kid, Edney, it's just a matter of Purdue being able to not turn the ball over. And
we can't spend too much time on 1 and 16.
Well, but that was awesome, because that was just such a flex of how knowledgeable you are. Because everybody else is like, we're just putting Purdue in, right? But that was some good tidbits. It's always
who's the one seed that got knocked? Was it Virginia that is the only team one that's gotten knocked off in the history of the tournament? And then they followed it up next year, won the title.
Yeah,
right. That is correct. They lost to I think Baltimore, Maryland.
Yeah.
And who was on that team? Ty Jerome.
What? Oh yeah, the Virginia team.
Ty Jerome was on the Virginia team. Yes.
Yeah. Ty Jerome.
Didn't they have somebody injured that year? Like the kid on the Hawks. Oh no, I'm pulling a.
I couldn't tell you that.
No, he's a small forward on the Hawks. I would advance
Purdue.
Okay.
I would advance Purdue.
All right, I'm advancing Purdue, but I need to remember the name of the guy on the Hawks. Virginia, probably their best player they've had drafted in a while.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the forward. I know who you're talking about.
Hawks.
Starts with an H, I think. Oh, what is it?
I just searched Hawks, Virginia, and I'm just getting all different types of Hawks. Basketball.
Hunter? Is it Hunter or what?
Yes,
what is it?
Hunter.
Yeah, DeAndre. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. All right, now. Okay, all right. We'll go faster. Okay, advanced Purdue. Okay, and then
can't see.
Memphis is just coming off of the win against Houston, and I know the guard was hurt for Houston, Sasser, but Memphis, they are really talented. And if you looked at them last year, how talented they were.
They almost beat Gonzaga last year, and Jalen Duren
Gonzaga right to the end, and they were really undisciplined. It was a wild game, but Penaway's, Penny Hardaway as a coach has so much talent on that team, and a lot of those guys are young. They're guys that are, has aspirations for playing the pros. They're long, athletic, quick. He turns them loose, and a lot of times they'll wreak havoc. And I look at them as a team that can maybe, I picked them to advance in that game against Florida Atlantic, even though Florida Atlantic is good.
Yeah, that's what I
think they'll be a pain in the butt for Purdue because Purdue
Steve, don't skip ahead.
Yeah, I won't skip ahead. Okay, so let's move Memphis in that one.
Okay, but we're showing some respect to Florida Atlantic for being a really darn good team.
No doubt.
Duke, Oral Roberts.
Well, look, Oral Roberts is on a huge win streak. I think they have reeled off 18, 19 wins in a row. They dominated that league, which is, with the Dakotas and the Omaha, Nebraskas. They're good. I mean, I can't just shoe Duke in easily. I think Duke will win. I think Duke has the talent, but I picked that to be a really close game.
What are your thoughts on Shire?
Oh, he's paid his dues with Krzyzewski. The team has gotten better and better. When I've watched them, they've played well. He's a first-year coach. He was under a lot of pressure. They produced. They won the ACC tournament. It's hard to your first year of coaching following Krzyzewski. Nobody would want that, but to his credit, he's got his team peaking at the right time. It seems.
Well, I mean, what I don't like about him is I like hating on Duke, and Jon Scheyer is just pretty likable. It's kind of hard to really find. Although, I haven't seen him in the tournament yet. I guess that's when usually guys tend to get some baggage. But part of me wants to see Duke advance deep, just so that people. I'm a kind of a Coach K hater. Sorry, but it's just so that kind of the Duke fans are trying to spin zone it. But also, I don't want the Duke fans to be happy. So I'm not sure how I feel about Duke this year. But yeah, they do seem hot.
Well, the thing I would tell you is, Krzyzewski as a coach with the United States national team, and the NBA players love Krzyzewski. A close friend of mine was on the staff with them, and he's a guy named Tony Ronzoni, who was the international scout, because obviously in the Olympics you're going to play the international teams. But he swears by Mike Krzyzewski being a good man. He cares about people. He treats people with respect. I'm just speaking on what my knowledge is. I know it's okay as a fan to hate Duke, but I think Krzyzewski has been a class guy. His players love him. He's had a lot of the greatest players in the NBA. You take a look at Calipari's had a lot of great players, but you can't argue the amount of pros that Krzyzewski's turned out, and a lot of them with class. I mean, you take a look at our guy who's now the point guard for the Mavericks. That left Brooklyn. Kyrie Irving was there for 1 year, but you look at Grant Hill and you look at many, many great pros. But Krzyzewski's players love him. The NBA players who played for him in the Olympics, they love Mike Krzyzewski. I think that, it's okay to hate Duke because, maybe you hate the Dodgers or maybe you hate the Yankees or maybe you hate Duke. But Krzyzewski is a great coach and a first-class person. That's based on what I know.
I'll give you this, and on a positive note, that documentary on the Redeem team on Netflix, that made me. It was kind of hard to hate him because he was pretty awesome in that.
No, so Krzyzewski is a good man.
Yeah. So what do we got next? Which?
Okay, so we're picking Duke. We're picking Duke, right?
You guys can pick Duke, but I'm telling you, Oral Roberts is a good team.
So, because there's always a bunch of 12-5s, and spoiler alert, I do not want to pick St. Mary's losing. So, should we roll with Oral?
You can, but I picked Duke.
You're picking Duke.
I'm telling you, it's not going to be an easy game.
Not going to be an easy game. All right, I'll let Duke get one. Okay, I think. All right, now
we got Tennessee.
Now Tennessee, Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns. Elijah Mitchell.
Tennessee early in the year was, ranked number 1.
Yeah.
They're well coached. Rick Barnes is a veteran coach. Teams go through a lot of ups and downs. I've always felt the teams that go through adversity like everybody does, it's about the timing of the adversity. And all you have to do is win a first game in the tournament and start to get some momentum. And it's all about getting hot at the right time. I mean, the difference between this tournament and the NBA playoffs is in one game, you can have an upset. It happens. And it happens all the time. It's going to happen in this tournament. In the NBA, you're playing a best of 7 series. It's really hard to call an upset when somebody wins 4 out of 7 games. You know, but in the NCAA tournament, anything can happen. And that's what makes this tournament so unique. And in many years, the best team in the country doesn't win the national championship. So I think Tennessee will play well. I think Tennessee will win this game. And they will be a threat to, win their next game, which could easily be against Duke.
Yeah, I feel like I have like PTSD from betting against these like awesome defensive teams that are just really athletic. It's just a lot of times you can know within the opening seconds, like, oh, this is a mismatch. These there's just no. So I really like Tennessee. Tennessee is so good defensively. Right. They're going to beat Louisiana. Okay, now we got Kentucky Providence.
Here's where your upset might be.
It's not really an upset. Providence is good.
That's what I mean. But Kentucky's vulnerable, aren't they?
Well, they were a late blooming team, but look, Calipari's always got talent, and playing them late in the year. I mean, people will criticize John Calipari for not being a great coach, but if you look at the amount of success that he's had, and normally his teams are young because they're loaded with a bunch of their best players are one and done guys. Anthony, you go on and on. Anthony Davis, you go on. John Wall, all the players when he was, before when he was at Memphis. The thing about Calipari is he can coach and he can get his team to play well, and they usually are good. Now, a couple of years ago, they fell apart. There was even one year where they didn't make the tournament, but just about every year his team is there and they have talent. He probably has been hurt, and I'm going to give you a little information which would hint. It would hint. The NIL has now hurt Kentucky more than anybody because Kentucky was doing the best job of recruiting pros. And recruiting pros, I'm not going to even go into any details, but it was clear that they were getting the one and done guys. Mm-hmm. Now that the NIL is there and access to paying players is spread out, it's more legal. There's really the NCAA has no control. It's a wild, wild west. These other players are getting paid by other teams other than Kentucky. So I don't think Kentucky from here on out will hoard the top players like they did for a number of years. And Calipari did it. Calipari did it when he was
if NIL is getting that big, Steve, why isn't a school like Cal that graduates some of the smartest people in the country that have tons of money, their alumni? Why aren't they getting some of these top players?
Yeah. Where's the Yogurt Shack sponsorship?
Okay. Well, first of all, you have to have a head coach who's going to decide to go in that direction. So it is my belief that the NIL is pretty brand new. It's only been around a couple of years now. Okay. And I would probably think that the coach, the former coach at Cal, probably decided he didn't want to go that route. And you've got to be, there's some athletic departments, from what I understand, that are becoming more and more organized. They've got people working, staff to go out, because, it can't be the coaches that are necessarily, and it's such a new thing. Who knows what the rules are? The NCAA has no control over this. But it's a concerted effort by a coaching staff to say, we are going to recruit money to get players paid through the NIL and to create some kind of a job or some kind of an advertisement. Kentucky clearly did it this year because I've seen a commercial when I'm watching the horse racing station. The big kid that they recruited was there supporting a horse that was going to be going to the breeding stage.
Oh, gosh.
That's awesome.
The horse was on nationally, but the horse was named Life is Good, a champion horse.
Love Life is Good.
The horse was then retired, and this young fella was dunking a basketball and talking about life is good and about breeding and breed your horse.
Boy!
And I'm telling you, he got paid pretty well for it.
Right, I think we should start an NIL for our chat.
Yeah.
So you got to have talent to first.
Well, I think the interesting thing is, like, I guess, some of these programs, like even at Kentucky, it's like you only have so much money. So, maybe gone are the day, they may still be able to get their 1 or 2 guys, but gone are the days where they can support 5 dudes. Because also, if I'm the 5th guy, I don't want that. I don't want to be on a Kentucky. I want to go somewhere where they got money and where I can be the star of the show and average.
Hey, we're gonna have to blow through this bracket, otherwise we'll be
okay. You're right.
Past
Okay.
midnight. Hey, did you send the link to Red?
I did. Red cannot come on tonight.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's blow through this because.
Okay. All right. We go in Kentucky. I like Kentucky.
Okay.
Kentucky.
That game to me is a toss-up. Providence is pretty tough, well coached.
You haven't had an upset yet. I mean, a lower seed beat a higher seed yet.
Kansas State, Montana State.
Kansas State wins that game.
All right. Michigan
easily.
State.
Now you're looking at 2 different styles because USC is really kind of a wide open team. They like to pressure. They like to get out and go. But I feel like Michigan State, Tom Izzo's a great coach. His guys are tough. Michigan State may not have, and they've got good players. They've got good athletes. They may not have as many good players as USC, but I think Izzo will outcoach the USC coach.
All right, Michigan State.
Michigan State.
Okay,
Marquette will win that game.
Yes. Okay.
I mean, the story about Shaka Smart is very interesting because he's back in a situation where he excels more. He was very successful at VCU. He had great, his players were very aggressive at VCU. They pressed well. They ran the court well. Then he went and took the job at Texas where he had to get, McDonald's All-Americans. And he had a hard time getting those guys to play the way that his players played at VCU. Now when he goes back to Marquette, he's not dealing with the best players in the country, but he's dealing with good players. But Shaka Smart is a great coach, and he does a great job building his team around, pressure, constant pressure, both on offense and defense. And he's back in the situation at Marquette where he's a better coach instead of having to deal with the top players in the country like he did at Texas that tried to get them. Anyhow, all right. Now's the next round. Where do we go to?
All right. Purdue, Memphis. This is, I think, a very trendy upset, and I'm kind of leaning towards it.
Well, I'm going to stay with Memphis. I think that Memphis coming off the win with Houston. It'll really be about Purdue and their guards. Can they handle the pressure of Memphis and the pace of play?
There's your upset,
Dan. Control the tempo.
How is that? Is an 8 over a 1 good enough for you, Dan?
I just think there's got to be like a 4-13, 5-12.
There will be. There's time. But I think also everyone points to, I listen to a lot of college basketball podcasts where they focus heavily on the Big Ten. And one thing they've been saying all year is like, why do teams wait until the last couple minutes to press Purdue? Because they can't handle pressure. And Memphis is rolling in there as a team that loves to pressure. So I think that it's just a bad matchup for Purdue. All right.
So I would agree with that.
Duke, Tennessee.
Oh.
Go Vols.
That's a toss-up game. But if you want to, whoever you guys want to pick, you pick. I would stay with Duke. I think Duke is maturing.
Dan, are we vetoing? I'm feeling a veto.
Go ahead. You guys take Tennessee.
Okay. All right. Kentucky, Kansas State.
Kansas State has some really tough guards, and they're physical. But if Kentucky gets past that game, but I'll be honest with you, I would pick Kansas State myself.
Okay. All right. Kansas State. Okay. Michigan State, Marquette. We go Marquette.
That's a tough bracket.
Yeah. Wait till the West.
I know. You guys can pick who you want.
We got to go. I think really Marquette.
Yeah, I would be leaning more towards Marquette in that game, but that is
Michigan State always gets to the Sweet 16.
Yeah. He hasn't been doing quite as well lately, Mr. March. Okay. All right. I would love to hear your thoughts on Memphis, Tennessee. Hey, that works.
Hey, Memphis, Tennessee. Isn't that where that's Elvis?
That'd be a good game. That would be a good game. There's nothing wrong with writing Tennessee out because I think Tennessee is mature. They've got older players versus a lot of young players at Memphis. So if you guys want to go with Tennessee, I'm all for it.
Okay, sweet. Tennessee. All right. Kansas State, Marquette.
I'd be willing to say Marquette.
Yes, I'm leaning Marquette as well. All right. Marquette, Tennessee.
I'm going to go with Tennessee.
I love it. That's actually, I had Tennessee when I first just did my first bracket, just writing it out.
All right, so we got through the East, right?
All right, let's go to the South.
Tennessee advances to the Final Four.
All right, Alabama, we're going over the 16 seed. Okay, Maryland, West Virginia.
Ooh.
West Virginia has gotten better and better and better. They had a losing record in conference in the Big 12, but a lot of teams had a losing record in the conference. And the Big 12 was by far the best conference in basketball, college basketball.
And West Virginia are analytics darlings. I know that.
Is that coach at West Virginia, the guy?
Huggins. He's a Hall of Fame.
He's still there?
Yep, he's still there.
I love me some Huggy Bear.
But I will tell you, I would take Maryland.
Whoa. Okay. All right.
I was going to take Maryland too. Scott Van Pelt.
Yeah.
Scott Van Pelt effect.
Do it for Van Pelt. Okay. San Diego State and College of Charleston.
Ooh, the Kawhi Leonard.
Charleston's been on a huge run. Once again, they have I don't know what their record is. I don't think they've lost, but maybe 1 or 2 or 3 games all year long. I think it's a bad matchup for San Diego State because they've got a lot of guys that can shoot and score, and they've got a lot of veteran players at Charleston. I think San Diego State wins, but I think it's a tough game. It's a bad matchup for San Diego State in the first round.
So maybe bet College of Charleston, but pick San Diego. I really like San Diego State. I want to.
The point spread is 5.5, right?
That is a good thing to look up.
Yeah, it is. It's
5.5.
That shows you that is a tough matchup for a 5 seed.
Yeah. No, San Diego State, and it's gonna.
There's my upset. Charleston.
Dan. Oh, sorry, Dan. You're overruled.
Hey, I went to college in San Diego, but not San Diego State. So,
plus, I really want to see this next matchup.
Take State. All right, go ahead.
Okay, Virginia Furman.
Well, Furman's good. They are a good team. They're tough. I watched them play their conference championship, but I just think Virginia is played against tougher competition.
Where did Red play at, right?
He played at Fordham.
Fordham. Okay. Yeah, Fordham.
Fordham, which is New York. That's in New York City.
Yeah.
So Virginia, you can move them on, but it'll be a tough game.
I can't wait for that matchup. Okay. Creighton, North Carolina State.
Creighton's good, but this is one of my upsets. I'm taking North Carolina State.
Ooh, let's go.
All right. Baylor, UCSB.
This is a tough draw for UCSB.
That is a tough draw to get Baylor. Dang.
Well, Baylor has been traditionally with Drew, he's a good defensive coach, and they have guys that can match up with Santa Barbara's best players. And they, once again, they're coming out of the Big 12. So they played Kansas, they played TCU, they played Texas, they played Texas Tech. They've played it. They played Oklahoma State. If you look at the schedule that Baylor's had to play, and even getting beat, the way they did. I'm not sure who beat them in the Big 12 tournament, but I think it's a tough matchup for Santa Barbara. I don't believe they have the size and the athleticism to beat Baylor, but they're a good team. They're a well-coached team, and I believe that Santa Barbara will compete. And I would think that 10-point spread is too high.
Yeah, so I wanted to pick UCSB. I just told myself I was going to pick UCSB going in. I really like the way they look in conference tournament. It seems like they have some legit dudes that could maybe have a little mini Cinderella run in the tournament and get hot. But 10.5 is just so mad. I feel like an idiot.
Oh, I mean, look, if you're a betting guy, that's probably a spread that is too big, in my opinion. I think Santa Barbara will compete, but I would move Baylor on.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Okay.
Who's Santa Barbara's star? Mitchell, the lefty guard?
It's like a Jai Mitchell or something like that.
Yeah. Did you help?
The kid is good, but there's the other player is the 6'7" kid that transferred from Oregon by way of San Francisco City College. And I believe he's in his second or third year. Let's see. Well, with COVID, he got the COVID year. He's in his third year at Santa Barbara. He's like a fifth-year player.
That's their big since even when I was there. They've been really focused on that San Francisco JC players. I mean, I know my year. I want to say 5 or 6 dudes that were on the Oakland Soldiers all played at San Francisco Community College.
San Francisco City College has won 4 state championships in the last 13 years.
Okay, that tracks.
So they are the most, to me, that they have been in the last decade. They've been the most dominant California Community College team with Justin LeBeau as their coach, and they just lost in the finals to Fullerton on Sunday yesterday. Or they could have had a 5th state championship. So his run is unprecedented.
San Francisco lost
City College, and he has a lot of he's got a lot of players. From the Soldiers he has, but he's also had some players that have transferred back from 4-year schools for their sophomore year, and then played 1 year at City College and moved on. So that is a pretty good hookup for Santa Barbara. Yes.
Yeah, it was a good move getting Gabe Vincent and. Letting them shine. Okay. So Baylor, unfortunately. All right. Mizzou, Utah State.
Missouri has really come on. They're coached by Dennis Gates, former Cal player who, got his first coaching head job at Cleveland State. He did a great job there. Missouri hired him. He's done a phenomenal job turning Missouri around in 1 year. I'm going to take Missouri. I think they're athletic enough.
We got a long way to go. We got to blow through this.
Right, Arizona,
bracket,
Princeton, Arizona. Even though Princeton always scares me, but Arizona, Princeton.
Yeah, no, Arizona's going to win.
Okay. All right, Bama, Maryland.
Bama.
Yeah, I would say Alabama.
Okay, I'm excited about this one. San Diego State, Virginia. Over under at 90.
San Diego State.
Ooh.
I would agree with Dan.
Let's go.
Let's go with it. Yep.
Oh, I love that. Okay, North Carolina State, Baylor.
Well, if you want your Cinderella story, go ahead and take North Carolina State. Baylor has a player. One of their top players is hurt.
They're doing it for
they lost one of their lead. One of their top guards is hurt.
Wait, who's the guy on the Giants that went to North Carolina State?
Will Wilson.
Will Wilson. Yeah, do it for Will Wilson.
Yeah, there we go.
Win one for Will Wilson. Let's pick him.
Rodon.
Right, Arizona, Missouri.
Arizona, Missouri. Ooh.
Oof.
Arizona.
They're good. Yeah, they're good. Okay, Bama, SDSU.
I think Alabama runs it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I unfortunately think so too. Okay, NC State, Zona.
Arizona.
All right, Zona, Bama. That is a hell of a game.
Arizona. I'm going with Arizona.
Let's go. Yeah, Bama's got bad juju. All right,
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right, keep moving.
Midwest, Houston versus NKU. I don't know who that is.
Yep. Move Houston on.
Okay, Iowa, Auburn.
I like Auburn in the game, even though, Iowa can shoot it as well as anybody in the country. But I think Auburn will pressure them. If Iowa handles the pressure and gets open looks and knocks down threes, either way, what do you guys think?
I like Auburn. I like the SEC.
Okay. Well, I think Iowa will beat them.
Oh, you think Iowa will beat them? Okay, then let's take Iowa.
I think Iowa will beat them. I think Iowa's guards will handle the ball, and they're going to move it and get open shots. They're going to knock shots down and beat Auburn. Auburn's been inconsistent this year.
Yeah. All right.
Miami and
Drake.
Yep, Miami.
I like Miami. Okay, Indiana, Kent State. That's kind of a tough one for Indiana in the first round.
Yeah, but Indiana's played well this year.
Yeah, they have.
You're going to find out. We're going to find out whether the Big Ten is for real or not. But I think Indiana is better than last year. Last year when St. Mary's crushed them, they looked really bad. But St. Mary's played so well that game.
They played so well.
They really did.
And they have a pro.
Indiana will move on.
Jackson Davis. Okay, Iowa State versus the winner of Mississippi State, Pittsburgh.
Iowa State is a tough team. They've been up and down at different times. Started out the season really well, but I watched them, in the Big 12 tournament. And
Brock Purdy. You got to
do it for Purdy.
Okay, well, I didn't see Brock Purdy shoot any jump shots. Let's go ahead. But Iowa State, I do think Iowa State will move on.
Okay. Xavier, Kentucky State? Is that what?
No,
Kennesaw State.
Kennesaw State.
Xavier. Can't even.
I think Xavier, but Kennesaw State. If I remember this right, Kennesaw State was coached by a former Cal player, and I want to say, I don't want to mess it up, but I know I saw him in an interview, and he's a former Cal player that played for Ben Braun.
Oh, okay. So do we do it for
Xavier?
Cal?
Xavier's a good team. They're well coached. Sean Miller's back there. Sean Miller's a great coach. Xavier is not a powerhouse, but they play well. I would move Xavier on.
Do it for Bill Murray. All right, Texas A&M, Penn State. Penn State obviously very hot.
Yeah, but Texas A&M with Coach Williams, they played really well in the Southeastern Conference tournament, and they got beat by Alabama. But they made a run to the finals of that tournament. They're well coached.
All right, so we're going Texas A&M, and then we're going Texas over Colgate. Everybody agree with Texas over Colgate?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Houston, Iowa.
Houston's going to get knocked off at some point if that guard doesn't play. Sasser.
I think he's going to be back by the Sweet 16.
Yeah, he'll be back.
It's a groin, right?
It's a groin.
He slipped, and it was pretty bad.
It didn't look good because it looked like he did almost the splits there.
Houston's going to win, though. They're going to steamroll, I think.
Well, Houston doesn't shoot it that well. They win it with great defense. They turn guys over and get easy baskets in transition. They've got a couple guys who can shoot, but they did lose to Memphis, but they were on quite a streak. Look, Kelvin Sampson's one of the great coaches in the history of basketball. People, who know basketball know that. And Kelvin Sampson has been there 4, 5, 6 years, and that every year the team gets better. I'm hoping they make a run. I really hope. I'd like to see them win it. But I would move Houston on. The next bracket.
It's also, I like that they lost. I like that Sampson can just get so pissed and fire the boys up.
Could Houston beat Houston?
It's-
The Rockets?
Might be able to.
Well, didn't Houston beat Boston tonight?
They did. They did
Yeah.
by 2, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Miami, Indiana, Miami.
Yeah. Iowa State.
Miami over
Senior.
Indiana. Okay.
I would move Iowa State on.
Texas A&M, Texas. That'll be a fun one.
Be a great game. I like Texas A&M.
I like it.
I've watched Texas a lot this year, and they're really good. But they're a little bit inconsistent. Texas A&M has got the type of team that can beat Texas. So I'm going to move Texas A&M on.
I love it. So do you think that coach doesn't get the job?
I think he does get the job. They should. Rodney Terry.
Ronnie Terry.
He's done a good job. I mean, he kept the team together. They beat Kansas twice this year.
Oh, Beard.
Yeah.
You're talking about for Beard, the guy that took over for Beard?
Yeah.
Didn't Beard just get hired somewhere else?
At Mississippi.
I thought it was Mississippi, yeah.
Mississippi State, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, Chris Beard's a great coach. And what happened to him was, really, it was a big mistake, obviously, by him. But what was involved with it had to do with his own fiance. She didn't press charges. So he wasn't filed, no crime was charged against him. And he's a proven winner, at all levels, in junior college, Division II, Arkansas Little Rock, obviously Texas Tech. He took them to the championship game a couple, 3 years ago. And then at Texas, he was turning that program. If you look at, they got a lot of talent, and they got a lot of transfers, and they got an older team. But Rodney Terry is a good coach. He coached at UTEP. He coached at Fresno State. He's a good man. He's a good coach. And he's proven that he could keep the team together. And for them to make the run they made, it's kind of a bold pick on my part to pick Texas A&M over them.
I like it.
But I'll stick with it. But I do think that Rodney Terry deserves to be hired full-time there.
Everyone's so hot on him. I love it. Okay,
right,
Houston, Miami. This will be a good one.
Well, I mean, who knows? I think Miami's got a really good team, but let's stick with Houston.
Yes. Okay. Iowa State, Texas A&M.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and stick with Texas.
Let's go, baby.
I'm going to stick with Coach Williams. He's a great coach. He did a great job at Marquette. He's been around.
All right, so Texas A&M, and then what do we got?
Houston.
I would stick with Houston.
I like it.
Houston to the Final Four. So who do we got in the Final Four? We got
Zona, Tennessee, and Houston. That's just the right amount of wacky.
All right, so now we go to the Wild Wild West. Okay.
Oh, it's so wild. Okay. All right. Kansas, Howard.
Yep. Kansas.
Here we go. This is a good one. Arkansas, Illinois.
I like Illinois. I really do. I think Arkansas has been inconsistent offensively. I think Illinois is well coached. So I'm going to go ahead and take Illinois.
Ooh, St. Mary's, VCU.
St. Mary's will win this game.
Let's go. Utah, Iona.
What a matchup in the first round. Danny Hurley in Connecticut, whose team could have been at different times in the country ranked number one, going against Iona with Rick Pitino.
It's going to be an unbelievable coach off. They're going to be doing all sorts of funny stuff on the sidelines.
Well,
you don't think so?
Connecticut's got too much size up front.
Yeah. I agreed. Okay, TCU, and then the winner of Arizona State, Nevada.
TCU.
All right, Gonzaga, Grand.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw something. I'm gonna throw a little monkey wrench in here.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona State will beat Nevada.
Okay,
and I'm saying, and Arizona State will beat TCU.
Oh, huge!
Really?
huge. But that's my pick.
Okay, so contingency, if Nevada somehow pulls it out of their butt, we're changing to TCU.
Okay.
All right, Gonzaga, Grand Canyon.
Oh, man.
Gonzaga.
I like Grand Canyon, and they got to play Gonzaga. Darn it. I like that. LaFonso Ellis's kid at Grand Canyon.
You also liked Dan Marley, too. So, anyhow.
I mean, they don't have a chance really against Gonzaga, do they?
Well, everybody's got a chance. I've seen you can see anything, but I just think that Gonzaga has had enough bumps in the road. They've got really skilled guard, and how are they going to stop Timmy? How are they going to stop him? The Grand Canyon's got nobody that can bother Timmy, and they shoot it. So Gonzaga's going to make a run. I'm just telling you, Gonzaga they're going to eventually run into UCLA, but Gonzaga's going to make a run.
I love it.
All right,
Northwestern, Boise State.
Northwestern has played well. They've won a lot of games. They came in second in the Big 12 or the Big 10. I'm picking Northwestern in this game.
I'm picking Boise just because I lived in Idaho at one time.
Ooh.
Okay, you also went to.
All right,
okay. You lived in Idaho, or you went to college in Idaho? I know you went to a college in Idaho too, and neither one of those academic adventures turned out very good. San Diego or Idaho.
Hey, what are you talking about?
Okay, I know you got your degree in annuities and insurance. Okay, it had nothing to do with English, math, science, or biology.
Hey, I don't have time for that stuff. I got ghost writers for me. I got guys in the chat. Yeah.
All right. Picking Boise because you went to Northwest Nazarene does not make any sense to me.
I didn't go to Northwest Nazarene. I visited there, but I didn't go there.
All right, we'll go Northwestern then.
All right.
Okay.
Let the journal.
Boise State. Go ahead, Boise.
Okay. Okay.
All right, fine. Boise. All
right, take Boise then. Fine. You'll see.
Wow, this is going to be a hot lead. You guys should have a bet on this game.
Okay. All right, Kansas, Illinois.
No. UCLA. Oh yeah,
UCLA.
Kansas, Illinois.
Kansas.
Oh, okay, here's a good one. St. Mary's, UConn.
Ugh.
Well, I know Ryan, you want to take St. Mary's.
Oh, definitely.
Okay. And I'm pulling for him big time.
This is a tough draw.
Well, the second round is going to be a tough draw for anybody anywhere, unless Iona upsets Connecticut, then St. Mary's would have a really good chance of beating Iona. But I'll be honest with you, I'm going to go ahead and take St. Mary's in this game because let's go with it. And I'll tell you why. Because they've already gone through their ups and downs, their bumps in the road. That loss to Gonzaga Gonzaga played about as well as they have all year long.
Yep.
St. Mary's is solid. They'll be rested. And I think they go back, beat VCU, and I think they beat Connecticut.
I love it. I
talked to Dave Fleming the other night.
Yep.
And Dave Fleming said St. Mary's is going to be fine. They're going to make a run because they don't have to face Gonzaga. And he says they're gonna get to the Sweet 16. So Dave Fleming, John's announcer.
Look, Connecticut is good, but I've got a lot. They're a tough, gritty team. And Ryan, I want to give you props. Early in the year, you said something that you were crazy about Aiden Mahaney maybe being the best player ever, right?
Yeah.
Well, first of all,
at St. Mary's,
I have Dellavedova to me was to this point has been the greatest player in St. Mary's college basketball history. But Aiden Mahaney has got a chance because he is really good. And I will tell you, if he stays healthy, like I hope he does, that young man will play in the NBA. He's special.
So that's what scares me from my prediction is I kind of made that prediction thinking there was no chance. Like I thought he would be this unbelievable college player but like he would stay all 4 years, maybe even a fifth, or I don't know how it works with COVID now, but stay as long as possible because this is going to be as good as it gets for him, and then he's going to go be dominant in Europe or something. But you saying that he's going to be in them,
he may stay 3 years. I just don't know if he stays 4, but who knows? He might. He may, because he just has a great relationship with Coach Bennett, and he is from that area, and his family, obviously, you're from that area. But he will be NBA ready by the end of his junior year, in my opinion, because he'll be 21, 22 years old.
Joshua Shaw says Patty Mills, maybe, question mark.
Well, it's just also the fact that he played with his sons, the coach's sons, and you were saying like Randy helped out with the coaching and stuff.
When they were younger,
when they were younger,
of course he helped us when they were younger. But here's the key thing: he's not when they played. Now, I really wanted to see them when they played Houston in December.
Yes,
okay? Because look, Houston they're men. They're like grown men. They're physical. That is the most physical team in the country among really physical teams. And Aiden Mahaney did not crack. He handled himself. They stayed defensively. St. Mary's held Houston down because Houston really doesn't shoot the ball that well. And it was a close game. I think it would end up being a 7 or 8 point game. But that young freshman against that team on the road held his own really well. And that's when I knew he was the real deal. And then, of course, watching him against BYU, watching him against Gonzaga when they beat him at home in that last 5-minute stretch. The kid is the real deal. And I believe, in fact, I know if he stays healthy, he will be in the NBA. And I hope he has a great NBA career. He's a great story for Contra Costa County.
He's such a good, yeah. And people, it's just weird because I know it. Like, you look at Camp Alindo and it's just a bunch of white guys, and maybe they have one 6'6" guy who's a stiff, me, and it's just like it's hard to kind of take them seriously. But I think they were given the state title. They went undefeated his junior year because of COVID. And then it felt like, okay, well, like that was not real, right? And then I'm pretty sure they only lost one game the entire season. They were playing like the best teams in California. They lost to a team out of like Florida or something. Like it was like one of those classic De La Salle things where like they win every game and then their one losses to like, top 5 team in the country out of some like Florida or something. And then they made it to the championship game of the Open Division state title. And I thought they were, honestly, watching that game, they should have won the championship, but they lost to a team, to put it in context, they lost to a team where LeBron James's son, Bronny James, is the 4th option. They lost to a team that beat that team, and the team had a bunch of kids that were playing big time D1, and Mahaney was the only guy playing college, and it was at St. Mary's. And they had a chance all the way up until the end. They were up early. And then he had like, it was literally the Gordon Hayward shot, remember? Where it was like, they were down 2 or 3. And then he almost banks in that shot against Duke. He had one of those shots and like, it looked like it was going to go in. And I was just like,
he's a real deal.
Yeah. Like this guy is competing. Like he's a dog against everybody he's gone up against.
All right, here we moving on. So,
side note before we get off of that,
yeah.
The young man who coaches the Camp Alindo team does an outstanding job.
Stephen Dyer, he was a coach for me for swim team.
Well, he's a heck of a basketball coach. I've watched him. He's really a good coach, and he's done a great job with Camp Alindo.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got St. Mary's over UConn. Now we got what?
Arizona State, Gonzaga. Okay, Boise, UCLA.
Oh, yeah, Boise. Yeah, Boise all the way.
Boise.
No.
All right, there's a matchup I'm hoping happens, but it's going to take a lot. All right, so now who are we going? Gonzaga, UCLA. I like Gonzaga.
UCLA guards. Who's hurt with UCLA?
Her best defensive player.
Well, the frontline guy. I'm going to go with Gonzaga.
Let's go. Now, do we get a rematch, a 4th matchup? It's between Kansas and St. Mary's. That is no. No chance.
Well, there is a chance.
There is a chance.
There is a chance.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. St. Mary's, when they get past 7 players, and they don't have the depth of a team like Kansas has. But I would go with Kansas.
I mean, they're a muck it up team. And, when you play that style and you're not used to it, there's teams that it freaks them out. And for the most part, they hold teams to very low totals. So,
you're going to find out about if we're right, we're going to watch Aiden Mahaney run through VCU, Connecticut, and Kansas. If you think now, is it possible?
You might not be. Maybe I think it is possible one day. Probably not this year.
Yeah, good point. Well, I would go with Kansas.
Okay, so Kansas, Gonzaga.
Kansas, Gonzaga.
You guys?
Yeah. We're just waiting on bated breath.
Yeah, well, I'm going to say Gonzaga.
Let's go. I love it. I love that Final Four. Okay, we've got Arizona versus Tennessee.
Arizona.
Oh,
Houston,
Gonzaga. That is a good game. Oh,
who do we have? Gonzaga and who?
Gonzaga and Houston, and you already know the storylines if Gonzaga makes it.
Yep.
Houston. All right, we're robbed of Jedi, of Sensei and Padawan or whatever.
So is it Houston and Arizona?
Houston and Arizona.
That's correct. And I'm saying the Wildcats are going to beat the Cougars.
Woo!
Arizona championship.
Dang.
Yeah, home state of Arizona.
Everything's coming up Arizona. I love it. This is like pretty accurate. Like in terms of the way
accurate.
Well,
now,
in terms of
and then somebody replays this show and goes, those guys had no idea what they were doing.
It's better than like Barack Obama though, like getting up there and just picking all the 1 seeds. Like it's fun. It's the celebrity picks that are just all chalk or no fun. So that is bold and I like it.
So you got the bracket saved there?
I just took a screenshot of it.
Okay, so we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how we do.
We'll see how we do.
Hey, you know what? I'm telling you, you got to listen to my same game parlays. I create some of the most unbelievable parlays, and they almost hit.
Steve, I was with Dan. This is how it's just crazy because it was like the both times I was up there. The last night, both times. He had some crazy 11-leg parlay that paid out over $1,000. And the first time he needed Isaiah Joe of the Thunder to score 1 more point, and there was 3 minutes left. Yeah. And he was chucking them and he didn't get it. And then this time, because that Warriors game went into overtime, the last thing he needed to win over $1,000 was Jordan Poole to have 2 more points. And they didn't even put him in at overtime. They just didn't put him in. And Dan screaming
with Steve Kerr.
Yeah, Dan screaming "Oh, put Poole in! Put Poole in for free throws! Get Looney out of there! Get Poole in for free throws!"
Well, they never had a shot. I was hoping, that Milwaukee would at least close it to within 5 with a minute left, so that they would start fouling or something, and they got down 9 or something like that after those threes, and it was they're not going to foul now with 40 seconds left. They're just going to dribble it out, and sure enough.
And the only thing that makes that loss worse is that I got something for the YouTube, some subscription thing that was $28 for a year, and Dan was "Oh, I'll Venmo you," and I was like, you know what? Don't. Can I get used $28 of your FanDuel and let's do something? And then of course, my parlay that wasn't nearly as ambitious, but it was still 28 to win 100 or something that hit. And then I like bet on San Diego State to come back, and that hit. And then like during the live stream, I bet on Arizona, like I think another 28, like plus.
That 28 you rolled 3 times into like $162.
Yeah.
And you still have the 28 in there.
I still have the 28 in.
All right. Well, listen, I will, give you guys credit. I think you guys do a great job with, the whole thing with the Giants you've been doing. I hope that really takes off for you, because I think some of those interviews were really good. And I really enjoyed the interview with Slater, Austin Slater. I really liked the Lamont Wade. And I think you guys got something going with that. So, listen, I'm going to go to bed. Thanks for letting me call in and give my opinion. My opinion is just like everybody else. That's all it is. It's a guess.
I'm taking it as pure fact.
All right, later.
All right, later, Steve. Thanks for the nice word.
All right.
All right. Oh, that was awesome.
Rob C says, "Do you still need a mod? How many mods we got?
We now have 3 mods.
They crushed it, man. They're like they were just
they're like spider monkeys.
Yeah, man, like flies on you know what, man. They were just all over.
I mean, I'm honestly down to. I'm always down to increase the army. I don't see why I don't see any downside to having a larger army of moderators, except for I guess the fact that if they turned on each other, there could be a civil war of moderators. But I think that we're pretty safe here.
We got good moderators.
Yeah, we got a good group of moderators.
So what do? The moderators? They just look in the chat and kind of please.
Yeah. I think they just kind of help out.
They have the ability to like get rid of somebody.
They have the ability to mute you, which is why I added. No, I think that. Well, so I made them. There was like 2 levels of moderators, and I chose there was like a manager. I should probably click on. I should probably just check what the abilities are, real quick. Everyone also, if you could like and subscribe, it would be awesome.
Yeah, hit that like and subscribe.
Trying to hit 200 soon.
Do us a favor, hit like even if you didn't like the show tonight.
Yeah, especially if you didn't like the show. If you don't if there's reviews, if you leave a 5-star or like, you can leave the meanest review as long as it's 5 stars. Okay. All right. I made them managing moderators, which is these users have this. Okay, first we have to learn what a standard moderator is. The user can remove comments which appear in your held for review page and can also moderate live chat messages. Well, that's fantastic. Let's see what they got for managing. These users have same capabilities as standard moderators, but in addition, they can manage blocked words and change chat modes in live. All right. Yeah, that all sounds awesome. I don't even know. What is a chat mode?
This is the chat mode over here, isn't it? All these.
Well, we're in StreamYard right now, so like we don't like see what maybe the actual chat like looks. Maybe they can change the like format of the chat. I'm not sure. I don't. I mean, I'm sure they would have good ideas. They would know what to do. I mean, they're in the chat, so I'm sure if there's something that's more visually pleasing or something that's like better, feel free.
Yeah, we got some good people in here. I mean,
yeah. Sub only chat mode. Oh yeah. So I mean, I think we're far too little to do this, but I mean, we've been kind of harping on Lair that he should be doing this for a while. That there's a mode where you can make it so only subscribers can chat. So
we're not there yet. We're not.
Although, okay, think about this. This is galaxy brain thinking. We turn that on, subscriber only mode, and then we just get like 7 new subscribers every show from that one guy who keeps like changing channels and then commenting.
Yeah.
And so we could just keep getting his subscribes.
Yeah, let Pervo in. Yeah.
That'd really show us if you gave us a bunch of subscriptions.
Come on, Pervo, dude.
Okay, you can change it from open chat to subscriber only. Okay, cool. It's going to be hard to cold Casey Schmidt back. I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah, he looks like a real baseball player. Here's, how do I say this about the Giants? I've been a Giants fan, since I was 7 years old, right? So 54 years.
Since you're nothing but a gleam in your daddy's eye.
Yeah. So I've been a Giants fan and serious Giants fan probably since I was like 9. I mean, I knew baseball. I played Little League as a 9-year-old.
How long were you an unserious Giants fan for?
Yeah. I mean, what I'm saying is I knew the game really, really well. I had 2 older brothers, and I'll tell you a funny story. I was 7 years old, and I was playing in this little peewee league, and I was out in center field, and a guy hit a fly ball. And when you're at 7-year-olds, they don't really know the game. So some kid was on second base, and he just took off running, and there was a fly ball to me. I caught it. And I ran in and touched second base because I knew he didn't tag, and I knew he was a double. I doubled him up. I didn't even throw. I didn't even throw it into the infield because I figured those guys probably wouldn't catch it. So I just
you're showboating and hot dogging.
Yeah. So anyway, but as a 9-year-old, when I played Little League, usually you start out as the minors, and we had juniors, minors, and majors. Well, the majors is 9 to 12, and I got drafted as a 9-year-old to the majors.
You got called up?
Well, to the
you're like Juan Soto.
It was a little intimidating. I can tell you this as a 9-year-old playing 12-year-olds that are like a foot taller than you. I mean, you start growing at 12. At 9, you're still a twerp. So it was kind of a crazy playing, but I knew the game really well, and so I was a Giants fan. And where was I going with it? Oh, right now the Giants, Conforto's kind of growing on me a lot. Well, I shouldn't say kind of. God,
he's a full-blown abnormal.
He's a guy who can hit, and I think Haniger can hit. Haniger's issue is just staying healthy. If he stays healthy, Conforto stays healthy. There's 2 guys I really like, and then Crawford's, he's steady. Again, it's got to be health. Estrada, I like his bat. He's got some pop, and then I love seeing Sable and Bart, but guys that what I'm talking about for the future that excites me about the Giants is Casey Schmidt. I think Blake Sable is a guy. The reason I say Blake Sable, because I know this is spring training, and I know that guys have, there's always a dude in spring that hits 500, and then the regular season starts, and, you never hear from him again. Randy Elliott, whatever. Blake Sable has athleticism. He's fast. Yeah. He's big. He's not going to hit no 500. He's probably not even going to hit 300. But I think he can hit, in the majors, I think he can hit 265 to 280 in that range, and, be a guy that hits. He could be a 20-20 guy, 20 homers, 20 stolen bases. That's a guy that's got a lot of talent, and you could see it. So I'm liking Schmidt. I like VR. The problem is VR and Schmidt play the same position. So I like Isan Diaz. I really like Diaz.
I want Diaz to be on the team from the jump.
Yeah.
They need the glove. They need that sweet glove at second. Now that the shift is gone, they need up the middle defense. I don't want to see VR playing second. Like I don't.
Right. He's not a second baseman. He can service there for a game or two, but he's not long term. Spencer says, like Bryce Johnson, you won't see often unless have injuries, but man, he can steal bases. Yeah, he stole second and third again today. I think the guy can flat out.
He ain't messing around. You know what? Yeah. You know what? I don't want Bryce Johnson up here, but if by some miracle the 2021 Magic comes back and they're going down the stretch run and rosters expand, I would not mind seeing him up here just to do what he does.
Yeah.
Pinch runner. And
the guys that I know that these guys have the talent but I don't know if they'll put it all together. But Ramos and Matos and Von Braun and Luciano and Schmidt and Sable.
I think Schmidt is like now in a different, because he's only ever been good. Yeah. So when I see his spring training, I kind of have to give him the benefit of the doubt. Same thing with Sable, honestly. Sable's been hitting between 280 and 300 throughout the entire time.
Play that. Put that up. That hit. Can you play that today? That little that sack fly I texted you. Yeah. Now this is off of Tim Hill, San Diego. You guys have seen Tim Hill. He's a funky left-handed pitcher that throws from the side, kind of like not as extreme as Tyler Rogers, but he's got this herky jerk, like, I don't know if it's a 3/4 delivery from the side, but
you can really tell on the video.
Can you?
Yeah.
Okay, there. Oh, okay. This is. Wait a minute.
Is this Schmidt?
No.
Yeah, that is.
Okay, that
Schmidt is off the same guy.
Didn't I? Let me see if I sent you the right one. Right.
Oh, so you didn't tweet it?
Hey, Rye. I did. I know I didn't tweet it. I texted you.
All right. Okay, let me just save the video. Export. Funky.
Did you see? Check your text there too.
I got it.
No, check it again.
Oh, I did.
You see what I'm saying there?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Secrets from everyone. Okay. All right, I got it. I'm loading it up. Here we go.
All right, so we're gonna see Tim Hill facing Sable. See how rewind that. Look at this delivery. It's kind of like 3/4, and from the left side. Look at Sable stay in there, and this is 2 strike, and he just drills it to center field. I mean, he probably hit it 90 plus miles an hour. Look how fast it got out there to center, medium deep. Who's ever that was? Is that Austin Wins?
I don't know.
I don't know who that was.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So that was very impressive to me because, his job is to, either drive it, get a hit or just hit it hard to the outfield, and he did it. So it was Wins. Spencer Alley says, yeah. So Wins is not a guy that's got fleet of foot in any way. He scored easily.
So, and what was his stat line today? It was like 1 for 3 with a walk or something. Fly or 2 for 3.
1 for 2 with a walk.
1 for 2 with a walk. So he's like, he's been on base like 9 out of his last 10 at bats or something crazy.
Yeah.
It's wild. Excluding sac flies. He's been on base like 9 out of the last 10 times. So
yeah, he's hitting 526, 615 on base percentage, slugging percentage 1158.
And also, Dan, don't you kind of agree that although spring training you can kind of write it off for a lot of things, he is legitimately taking pressure at bats because unless he plays unbelievable, he's not making this team.
Right. So it tells you that he's handle the pressure. He's got a great personality. The clubhouse, loves him. And to me, I'm carrying him as kind of a guy that as a third catcher, I would go 3 catchers personally. I would go Bart and Perez, and I would use Sable as a guy that you put in some days out in left field or right. Some days maybe you put him at first. Sometimes you might DH him, and then other days maybe you catch him, and maybe he plays 4 to 5 days a week.
Yeah.
He's an athlete. You got to have speed. They don't have any speed. They've got Estrada and
doesn't
Slater.
it kind of feel like Kapler almost like just I mean, obviously not inside his head at all, but just it didn't it kind of seem like, okay, Sable had this unbelievable day when he was catching and unbelievable day hitting. All right, you know what, Sable? All right, let's see if this is for real. I'll fit you in the lineup as a DH. And then all of a sudden he just, goes whatever it was, 3 for 3 with 2 walks and a home run. And then he's like, damn, this Sable guy might be pretty legit, but let's, that guy's catching. You know what? I want to see if he could do it again for a third day. Let's just stick him in left field. Let's see what he's got in the outfield. And then he does it again. It just feels like he's almost being, and everything Kapler said, like you said today to me, I don't know if you put this video up, but you said Sable, Kapler, I was there when he made a big deal about he wants guys that are going to go first to third and that will, steal bags, but go first to third mainly just on their own instinct. Right. He doesn't want to have to, put these signs on or rely on. He wants guys that are athletes that are being physical and instinctive and are just, doing it, no hesitation, have that sixth sense about them. And Sable's just doing that nonstop. And also Cap said, let's, got to see more of him in the outfield. Sounds like he had one ball that he lost in the sun or something like that. But other than that, just looked like a natural left fielder. Is that correct, Dan?
Yeah. In fact, I'm gonna cut this video real quick. Send it to you to play. So
okay,
I'm gonna mute myself because I'm got background volume of Gabe. So go ahead, Carrie.
Dan's got a hand buster to edit it down. Kid still has baby. Oh, we're talking Harrison. Yeah, Harrison. I'll say this: seeing Harrison in person, he definitely looks pretty young. Now, in his favor, his mom's favorite place is the Yogurt Shack. So that's definitely a feather in his cap. Reminds me a bit of the Boise State bump, the Yogurt Shack bump. But yeah, I mean, it sounds like he kind of needs to work on getting in the strike zone. And I don't know. I will say I judge a lot of it, being in the locker room. Granted, baseball's a little different because it's such an individual sport. But like, for example, being in the Niners locker room was why I was so confident with the team all year. And it's why it was easy for Lair and I to kind of just, the Brock Purdy thing. It's like we saw how people reacted when Dre went down and Jimmy came in. And that's why I was like, Jimmy's going to do great. Jimmy's going to be fine. And then it was the exact same reaction when Brock Purdy came and everyone believed him, believed in him. Everyone saw him. This Giants locker room is, it seems like it's pretty together. Kapler seems pretty confident. He is definitely a little cool. Like he's got a presence about him for sure. He's not as, some people make him out to be a little bit of a weirdo, but I don't think so. I've seen him in person. Now, I didn't see Farhan, so I don't know if that's a good sign or not. But the fact that Farhan is pretty unavailable, I don't know what that means. But yeah, it seems like a lot of guys in the locker room are talking about how they've improved their mechanics in the off season. They've really been working, and yeah, I'm low key excited. I'll talk myself into this Giants team for sure if they come out and they start winning games.
Yeah, I just sent you sent you the text, Rye, on today. I edited it down.
Yeah, I got it.
So this is today, just about 30, 40 minutes before the game, maybe. And you mentioned that you were wanting to see more aggressiveness on the base pass from first to third,
Yep.
and that you were less reliant on the coaches, but more by instinct.
Yep.
Was Blake Sable's hit from Casey Schmidt to center field going from first to third, was that all on his own?
Yeah, I mean, most of the time that decision it's up to the players to decide whether they feel like they can get to third base on that play. Blake definitely falls into the category, from my perspective so far, of instinctive, trusting those instincts, making quick decisions and making good decisions.
See, I'll give Kapler this. That was a really good answer because he knew where you were going with it because of the way you prefaced it. He gave you an answer of kind of like, well, yeah, almost everyone, makes that decision. It's up to the player, but he knew what you were getting at. So then he clarified that in addition, Sable definitely falls into the category of guys that are super instinctive and are doing it the way he likes. So
Right.
yeah, that was good information.
So anyway, I think it's going to be an interesting year. I'll tell you this: the Giants have the ability, if they stay healthy, to stay in some games because they have a deep pitching staff.
Yeah,
and if their pitchers can, Ross Stripling is a good pitcher.
Yes,
Ross Stripling is a good pitcher. Alex Cobb's a pretty good pitcher. We know Webb's a good pitcher. Those are three guys that generally will keep you in the game. And then if you look at the left side, you've got Wood, which he may end up staying in the bullpen. But Manaea, if Manaea has a bounce back year from his new stuff, and then you've got who am I missing? DeScofani. Okay, so you got six guys. It'll work itself out, but they've got depth, and then you got Junis. So if the pitching can hold up, not overwhelm the bullpen, that's what a lot of the problems last year, the bullpen just got wiped out. So there's that. Now, this is how the Giants, only way I see them making a run at a wild card is Haniger, Conforto are healthy and have years like they did, in 21, Haniger hit 39 homers, drove in 100 runs. Conforto from, I want to say, like either 18 or 19 to 18 to 23 over a 3-year period. Maybe 20 wasn't in there. Maybe it was 17 through 19. 3-year period, averaged 29 homers a year for the Mets.
I'll tell you what, I doubt that we're going to get that from both of them. However, I think it's a pretty good chance that one of them has close to that.
Yeah. And then the other things that have to go right is health, because everybody goes through injuries. So I'll say this: there's a possibility the team could hover toward 90 wins if everything goes well. But if things don't go well, it's a team that could finish under 500.
I mean, I think like Wade, I'm interested to see how Wade looks this year. If he really was, the injuries and stuff. That stuff. He's had a piece of his kneecap broke off. He deserves a shot. Manaea, it sounds like he's improved a lot of things, and I don't know if he has an option. Does he have an option after this year, Dan?
Who's that?
Manaea.
An option? Oh yeah, opt out. Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
him and Stripling both have the same contract.
So I mean, I like that contract for these kind of guys because, if you had a down year the year before, or even just good or like fine, but it wasn't going to be enough to cash in. Manaea is definitely looking for that last contract, and if he has a bounce back year, he could make one more big fat contract. So. And then Stripling, I think, is just a pro. I think I'm not really worried about Stripling. However, if he strings another good year after this one, I mean, I know he was kind of like not necessarily seen as like one of the starters in Toronto, but then
he's here to be a starter though. Gabe's made that pretty clear.
Yeah.
And he's got some good stuff. Stripling is, between Webb, Stripling, and Cobb, I think those are three really dependable guys. The area, and Mania could be, if you could get four of those guys to pitch well, and it.
And shit, maybe you get Junis to pitch well for like a quarter of the year. Or
I mean, they got guys. They got guys that can start. And Jelly's another guy that can give you innings. I looked on the board today. Sean Jelly has the highest first pitch strike rate on the team. First pitch strike of 73%.
Well, that's gonna get that's what they want, right? That's like their philosophy is throw strikes.
Yeah, I mean, Jelly is having a really good spring. So, I think one area, it's not an area of so much concern, but it could be. Kyle Harrison has, he hasn't, done that great in the spring so far, as far as, he's been getting hit, and he's not. He did get one strikeout today in one inning, but that's okay. I mean, he's not. He's, keep him in Sacramento until he's ready. Let him perform well in Sacramento, and if he does, then you have something that he's getting guys out in the hitters league, because Sacramento, that PCL is a hitter's league. So I think
well, Dan, what about this? I mean, Cool Breeze saying Crawford hurt can't be good. You can't be going with Estrada at short. I think that's all the more reason they need to keep Diaz, because that, if you remember last year, their defense was one of the issues. They're horrible. Yeah. I kept like jokingly pointing out their FIP was always super high, which is like basically the pitching ERA if you took fielding out. So especially without the shift, they need a great defensive second baseman. And if Crawford is going to be limited in any way, you need to figure that out. Because, I do kind of trust Estrada there, but I don't know. Do you think Schmidt? Maybe Schmidt can play legitimate.
That's a possibility, if they get.
Even just for the defense.
If they get, Matt Williams came up with the Giants as a shortstop. Then he converted to third base. Casey Schmidt has he's got the hands like Williams, the soft hands, but he looks like he has a little bit more range of motion than Matt Williams did. So a little quicker feet, little better side to side than
you think Sable can play short?
No. No. That's one thing I don't think Sable could do.
Diaz might be able to play some short.
Diaz and Wisely. Yeah, Diaz came up as a shortstop. And
I kind of like Diaz. I wouldn't be surprised if Crawford is out. I wouldn't be surprised if you see some Estrada at second, Diaz at shortstop.
Yeah, you could have that, or vice versa. You could flip them too. You could flip them. So it's going to be interesting. I think Crawford's going to be okay based on what Gabe said.
Bring Longoria back to play short.
No. Yeah, Sable will sell tickets too. Oh, Jenny says hi to both of us. Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Jenny. Oh. Yep. Also, thank you, Jenny, she always leaves comments on the videos, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Guys, I had to say this also. Spencer Alsey says, did anybody else piss their Raiders friends off today with the Jimmy G signing? So this is funny. I bet there's a lot of people out there. If you were a Jimmy supporter at any point, there was a lot of debates that were had amongst me and my Raiders fan friends about who I would rather have between Jimmy G and Derek Carr. So I was always a Jimmy G guy, because I just think that Jimmy G's got whatever that thing is. That's, he's just got the it factor, even though he's not, Aaron Rodgers. He's got the it factor, and guys will play. He's tough as hell, and guys, he's just a dude. And I always thought there was something kind of off with Carr, not in like I think he's a great guy and I do think his teammates like him, but there's something missing. And it's just funny now because now Jimmy G's their quarterback. And I'm just kind of like, I don't really want to like it feels kind of weird to like make fun of that because it's like I'm actually kind of taking a victory lap because it's like, hey, you guys like kind of got rid of Carr for TP, and they're talking themselves into him, and I'm just letting them have their space ultimately.
Yeah. So I think what we should do in the last few minutes before we wrap up is maybe kind of tell everybody we don't, we got 20ish or so here. We're just growing the channel. It's late. It's 12:20 almost. Let's just kind of tell everybody what the direction, what we're going to be doing, and we're going to be trying to, maybe even with some merch down the line, and
for sure.
Just we're gonna have some fun, and we're gonna have some big guests coming in the future,
and possibly some large announcements.
Yeah.
Just even with the channel, I'm if anybody can think of, I'm throwing this out there, if anybody can think of like an awesome name that is just like would look good on a t-shirt and is very catchy, there's a chance, not trying to put the cart before the horse, but there's a chance that, we may expand this out into, some other sports or other teams, bring in some cool people. So, if that ends up happening, we might need a cool, catchy name of some sort.
Yeah.
Not that NorCal Sports Network sounds like very official. And it very much is what it is. It's kind of like Bay Area Sports Live. And I was like, with that, but, Barstool, The Ringer, John Boy, these some good, catchy, kind of unique things that look good on a t-shirt.
Romo asked, Dan, have you heard or seen the picture Jose Cruz that the Giants put on the 40-man roster? Yeah, he was protected from the Rule 5 draft along with
human grade sports guys.
Human grade sports guys.
I liked it. I had that idea of like mostly fans. I just think it's too salacious, but I do think that it's like because it's like we are mostly fans, but we're also kind of not a fan now that we're like slightly in the media world. But,
getting back to Romo's question about Cruz, I haven't seen him, but I did talk to Keaton Wynn today. I interviewed Keaton Wynn, who along with Cruz, Luciano, and Matos, and I'm trying to think of any others. Those were 4 guys that were protected, put on the 40-man roster. Otherwise, they would have had to go eligible for the Rule 5 draft. And the Giants were concerned that those guys would get, snagged. So even though Luciano and Matos are not ready for the majors this year, I think Keaton Wynn, you will see at some point. Dirty splitter.
I thought that's a dirty spitter, and I was like, "What?" Like tobacco spittoon. What the funny thing is, we didn't even touch on the Warriors game.
Yeah. Hey, they won. They looked good. The first half was amazing.
They flipped a switch, possibly,
especially the first quarter. Did you think Clay was going to get 15 tonight threes?
That was so sick.
I mean, he had like 8 in the first half.
I know. Well, what did you think of? I thought some small things that were really big were like, I mean, I don't even care that they lost the third quarter. Just the fact that they came out and were ready to play, didn't have to dig themselves out of a hole, and they put another team in a hole. That's good. And then also, I thought Jermichael Green looked good and locked in. I thought that DiVincenzo again looked incredible. I thought that Moses Moody looked like he was kind of in the right place. Like he was like put in the position that he should be in. And I kind of liked some of those lineups and Moody. How about that yammer that Moody had?
I'll tell you the guy that impressed me tonight. And I told
Iguodala.
Yes, Iguodala. I wonder what his plus minus was, because he was like, I would love to see it, because when he was in there, they seemed to be, gelling. And I I don't know. I'd take my victory lap over, Mr. Locked On.
Led the team plus 19.
I thought it was. I didn't even, you know what? I had no idea. I just thought Iguodala is making things happen here. And that dunk he got, he looked like he was 31 again.
Oh my God. He's going to have to do so much, get
therapy,
massages,
recovery, and go into yeah. So I just got to say, for all the people that bagged me, and I kept saying every time I brought it up on the show with Larry and Cy, and I say Iguodala is going to be a factor at the end of the season. They're counting on him, and he's just an end of the bench coach. He's not going to play. No, he's going to play because they trust him. Kerr trusts veterans, and he's not going to play a ton, but what he does give you is quality minutes. The one thing that I want to see him work on, because every time he shoots a three, even though he's wide open, I cringe still. He doesn't have his shot.
But the funny thing is his three is like better than his free throw. Like his free throw, it's so like it's kind of like he's too jacked or something. Like there's no rhythm to it. It like looks good, but it's a
awkward. It's a little bit of an awkward shot, in my opinion. It's kind of like to the side and then comes to the middle instead of just straight up. I don't know.
Yeah,
but I like Iggy, and
how about this for just crazy perspective? Clay went bananas tonight. You would agree?
Yes.
He had one more point than he had in that quarter.
He ended up with 38, right? Yeah. That's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
I love to go back and watch that sometimes when it pops up in a feed, and I just say, oh gosh, watch this quarter. 37 points in one quarter.
I can't wait. I mean, I already do it so many times with like going back, even just in the short. I've been watching. I watched game 4 versus the Celtics a lot, but I think Poole. People are talking about Poole being a plus 12 for a change. Poole did a good job. He played his role today.
Yeah, he didn't.
Everything he did looked like it was within the flow of the game. And it kind of reminded me that he's a little bit better as a kind of it's like he's kind of a superstar role player. He's not, it's okay to have like finishing lineups without him sometimes, depending on the matchup. You can throw DiVincenzo in there. And I think Poole is at his best when the Warriors start hot out the gates cracking, when they start hot, because when they get up a little bit, that's when it becomes okay to take the kill shots that just demoralize and just make so the other team can't come back. And that's like Poole shoots those when they're down 8, and it's like, dude, bro, look for us. Like, come on, get a for sure basket here. You got to stop the run.
Right.
But
hey, I'm gonna have to get running. I'm pretty beaten, and I gotta get a deal with the. I don't even know if I'll make it to the Giants thing tomorrow. I got a epidural in my C7, my neck. Yeah.
You got to get a standing desk or
just an in, outpatient thing. So it's not
honestly, Dan, you should get like I should have had you order one of those standing desk converters, because they're really nice. You can just put it on there, and then you can not only can you go standing up, but also like the slight. When we do these 3-hour streams, like when you're looking down at the camera, even slightly, like it is just
your neck.
bad for your neck.
There we go. Stand straight up.
Yeah, but even
I'm holding the laptop up.
But yeah, so I have like I'm sitting down today, but like I have little things on the side, and I can just raise it up if I want to stand. Wild Ryan coaching drive,
whatever that is.
Wild Ride coaching drive. I said the coacher and the rye.
Wild Ride coaching ride. What's that song? What's that? There's a song I remember.
You don't want to be too close to the song. You might get us demonetized.
Yeah. Not if I sing it, right?
No, I'm joking.
All right. Hey, well, I'm gonna. You ready to close out?
Yeah, let's call it. Let's close it with.
Thank you, Jenny. I appreciate your kind words.
Yeah.
Yes, do a more ergonomic setup. Yeah.
I'll have an intro and an outro rolling.
Yeah, you're working on that, don't you?
Yeah.
You got our intro.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah, talk to Romo too. He's got some ideas on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, and last thing I'll say is just I think we're kind of feeling it out. I think we are ultimately going to end up doing like a kind of a consistent show. I think we should do like a show that like 3 times a week that's just at the same time, and then sprinkle in post games. Yeah,
exactly. Earlier on,
be good to catch a rhythm before the Giants season.
Yeah. So, and then I'll be gone and I'll be out of the country here beginning on the 27th. I'm actually going to miss opening day.
That is just.
I had planned my trip to go to the Philippines in.
You were going to do it pretty early in March, right?
Yeah, I was going to do it in. Gosh, it was late February. Late February till like the 8th of March. And then I got COVID. And then I was fine, but I didn't want to go, even though, I would have already been there and been back, but then I would have missed some spring training and a lot of the interviews when no one was before they started playing. And so I really so I waited till I says, you know what, I'll go. I think we leave on the 27th, Monday, the 27th. So 2 weeks from today, we get back April 11th. We actually fly into San Francisco. So they're at home against the Dodgers.
Oh, got to.
So the 11th, I may just stay there and, go to the Giants Dodgers game.
You can crash in my, my studio room. I've got that little bed covered in all sorts of wires and
so I'll be able to watch the games though when I'm over in the Philippines because Verizon.
What's the time difference?
15 hours ahead. So it's 3:30 in the afternoon on Tuesday there right now.
Oh, so well, you know what? Maybe we can do something where like, obviously not a post game, but maybe we do something where we find a time slot that kind of works for both of us and just
depending on my Wi-Fi, how good it is. I don't know how good my Wi-Fi is going to be. So it depends if I stay, where my wife's family lives. It's a little more rural, so there's not as much Wi-Fi. But if I go,
you just plug right into the router.
If I go into the city, closer and go to a hotel or something, there's better Wi-Fi. But anyway, so Romo says the trip back to the States will be a killer. The jet lag will be off the charts. I know, that's what I hate. I've done it so many times. It takes like a week to adjust. You're all of a sudden, like right now it's 12:30 at night. I'll be wide awake. I'll be sleeping. You get back and you're sleeping in the middle of the day and you're waking up it's just nuts. I'm going to try these, try these homeopathic jet lag pills that a doctor told my naturopath doctor told me about them. Says if you take a bunch of them, it's supposed to help you. So
can you source some like sleeping meds or something?
I probably could, just take some melatonin or whatever. But
some NyQuil.
I don't know. NyQuil.
But well, who knows? Maybe I'll try maybe I'll go cow herd on it and just maybe do get people in the chat and maybe do some video callers or something.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, exactly. Maybe I'll call in from the Philippines.
Well, crap. I mean, might be during. Will March Madness still be going on?
Oh, that's right. I'm going to miss some March Madness. Hopefully, I can pick up. Oh, the title game. I won't even be back. Yikes!
I
Oh
think
well.
that actually, you know what? I think that's my girlfriend's. I think that's my girlfriend's law school graduation, so that might work out actually. I think that weekend. But yeah, I mean Yanks. Maybe I'll hop on the Krug show.
Yeah. The flight actually is. I got to go to Korea, and then from Korea to Manila. So I think
Is there a
it's like,
Thrilla in Manila?
yeah, I think it's like total of 18 hours or something like that. Gosh.
What do you do? Because you're not a movie guy. So what do you load up before the flight?
Oh, I'll listen to some music, my headsets. I'll do I do some movie stuff. I will watch, some movies, some in-flight stuff. The first time I went on a trip to Asia, I got wrapped up in this golf game on for like 6 hours. I was getting, how you just push the buttons and you're playing the golf.
Oh, you were playing a golf game. Oh,
Yeah, and I was like, I got, and I kept getting ticked off because I thought I had my swing down. I had it timing where you push the button and you let go, and it's like trying to get everything done. And it's like, and I kept trying to,
Oh, Dan, I could introduce you to some dangerous things on your iPhone. That sounds bad, but there are some phenomenal baseball simulator games where like you get to be the GM, and there's some that just go so deep that they're like super realistic, and you got to like get in all the muck of it. And
you give me that, me that, and I'll have this.
You actually would probably like learn a lot about just crap you have to do.
Oh man! All right. Well, let's close her out. We got anything to close her out with?
Go Boise State.